Welcome back. With us right now from Harvard Earring is Carole Van Stratten. She is a hearing instrument specialist. Nice to see you today.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today. We are going to talk about a few things today. And the first one, I think a lot of people probably go through when they get to that point and they're wondering if they have hearing loss. It's something that I think that the person themselves does not notice right away. And there could be a lot of reasons for that.
You're
Sometimes
right.
no matter what age you are, maybe you just don't hear something or certain frequencies, as we get older, they kind of go away. Even once we're 30 years old, we're not hearing like we used to. So they're not quite sure yet, right?
Right, exactly.
And
it happens a lot.
Yeah, it's usually the people around them. So what is something that, are there some signs that maybe the individual can pick up on?
Absolutely.
That kind of tell them?
Yes. In fact, most people first notice that their TV is getting a little louder than possibly the other people in the household would like. And they'll get a complaint from maybe their spouse or their kids that the TV is a little loud, or in some cases even the neighbors will complain.
Yeah.
Or the spouse or the family member might say, repeating themselves quite a bit, or say, I already told you that. And a person will say, gee, is my memory going? Well, gee, maybe it's not your memory. Maybe you just didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah,
so it's good to have a hearing test for those reasons.
As far as that goes, getting your evaluation for your hearing, we often hear where you get your eye exam maybe once a year especially as you reach a certain age and go to see your physician and stuff. What about a hearing test? At what point in time should it be yearly, or should it be only when you start to notice something?
Well, it's good to have a hearing evaluation any time in your life, any age, and have it done annually or biannually every other year. If you have no hearing loss, they find no hearing loss, then just go ahead and have it done every 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
It's usually a free community service at most clinics, and that is the case at our clinic as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Now, how about hearing aids? Of course, the technology has just gotten tremendous with them compared just to 5 years ago, and people may still be using ones that are older. They still may be perfectly fine. Maybe they need to be evaluated themselves, right? The hearing aids, right?
Right, that's true. And we also offer that service. It's a nice way to have a patient or just a neighbor come on in with their hearing aids. If they're older hearing aids, it doesn't matter. Bring them in and we'll do a check on them, a performance check, and clean them. It's just a nice service that we offer the community. And there's no pressure to buy new hearing aids. However, if a person did want new technology, we do offer, of course, the latest from 2017.
Right, and actually, the newer technology is actually probably easier to use, not more difficult.
It is, it's much easier, and it's more discreet.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's amazing how discreet they are. And obviously, when it comes to those types of new technology, many of the hearing aids now will pair with your phone.
Right, they do. Bluetooth is a big thing, you're right.
Yeah.
And now you don't even necessarily need a streamer around your neck. For a while there, it was hearing aid communicating with the streamer, which communicates with the phone. So you had to have a streamer on your neck.
I didn't realize that.
And now, just this month, we're coming out with a new one that you don't need the streamer. It's hearing aids to cell phone. Or hearing aids to television. So your TV can stream right into your hearing aids.
That's interesting. I didn't even know about the streamer.
It's brand new.
Yeah, that's so not having that's fantastic. So let's say they find out they have some hearing loss, and what are some of the steps that would work best for improving their hearing? As far as, obviously there's hearing aids, but is there other things that can be done as well?
Yes, there's different technologies that work together, and assisted listening devices are all options. So it's not always just about hearing aids, you're right.
Okay. And one of the things that people are going to think about, obviously, is the cost involved.
Right.
I know that there are certain plans, Medicare Advantage plans, that sometimes includes the hearing aids. Some of them don't. It all depends. And that, obviously, that's going to be a concern to a lot of people. So let's talk about the different hearing systems that are out there. And the cost can range quite a bit. Am I right?
It can. Hearing aids start about $1,000 each, and they'll go up to about $3,000 each.
Okay.
That's pretty standard around the industry.
Okay.
And we have financing plans available. Just because you maybe want the best doesn't mean you have to always pay for the best. And the reason for that is if your lifestyle does not indicate the need for complicated technology, you can get by with hearing aids that don't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah, that's a good point. Here we're seeing anatomy of an ear. And explain, as far as the hearing aid goes, now we've seen, over the years, we've seen different kinds. Some are like, they go into the ear, some are on the outside. And you talk about the Bluetooth ones. How do they work exactly? Is there like a little basically amplifier that goes into the ear, or how does that work?
Well, a Bluetooth is inherent in the chip. It's embedded. So the chip is a digital computer chip in the hearing aid, which is why they aren't cheap.
Right.
And they go in the ear canal and they stay in. And they're very discreet, very small, very comfortable, custom made. And they stay in the ear, and then if you have your question was about Bluetooth, that instrument will then directly connect wirelessly to your cell phone or your television. So you aren't wearing a lot of apparatuses.
Yeah, exactly. And so explain, because I know it depends on the type of hearing loss, and that's going to go with also the type of hearing aid, am I right?
Right.
And the different types of hearing loss, it can affect different regions. Can you explain like maybe a couple of the most common ones that you find?
The different types of hearing loss?
Yes, exactly.
Well, commonly you'll find noise-induced hearing loss or any kind of precipitous hearing loss where the person is hearing better in the low frequencies than they are the high.
Right.
So in that case, they're hearing the vowels better than they're hearing the consonants.
Okay.
So a lot of times they won't know they have a hearing loss because everything is certainly loud enough. They're getting all their vowels, which are louder.
Yeah.
So a person like that says, gee, I'm fine, everybody else mumbles. And that's when the spouse or the family members or friends finally push them into getting a hearing evaluation.
And that's probably the most common.
It is very common, yes, very.
And I remember I mentioned that even at age 30, you're not hearing the same way you did at age 20. Certain really high frequencies.
Possibly. Yeah.
We did this test at home, I don't know, about a year or two ago, that it was like an app that had frequencies on it.
Oh, right.
And when we played these, my stepdaughter, who's 24 now, I think she was like 22 when we did this, could hear certain ones. And then my wife, and then I'm older than my wife, and then my in-laws, of course, in each step she put up, depending on our age, it almost fit perfectly. There were certain high frequencies we could not hear.
Right.
And it was really quite interesting.
Yeah.
And even my daughter, who's she's 10 now, I think she was like 8, she could hear certain things that even her older sister could not hear. And it was quite interesting, these frequencies.
Yes.
Of course, the dogs were going nuts while we were doing this.
Yes.
So it's not uncommon to to lose those high frequencies.
No, not at all.
Right?
It's very common. That's correct. There's 60 million Americans that have hearing loss, over 60 million. And there's probably a third of them are doing something about it. So it's good to have the test and see if you have hearing loss, and then if you want to pursue something to do about it, at least you'll have the information you need.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Now, as far as that goes, since that's a pretty common type one, again, you're going to evaluate what's your lifestyle and what you need. Am I right?
Exactly. There's 3 considerations mainly in choosing hearing technology. And of course, number 1 is the type of hearing loss you have and the amount of amplification at each frequency that you require to understand speech better. And secondly, it would be your desires. How do you want it to look? Do you want anyone to know you have it, or don't you care? And thirdly, of course, your budget. What do you want to spend on invest in your hearing ability? Okay.
Now, coming up is Better Hearing Month.
Yes, it
this
is.
month, May?
Right now, it's
right?
May is Better Speech and Hearing Month.
Yeah, and I know you're going to be doing a seminar. It's not for about a month. It's at the end of May on Tuesday, May 30th at Harvard Eye Associates right over here in Laguna Hills.
Right.
So you're going to have demonstrations here, new breakthroughs. Obviously, you're going to probably talk about the new Bluetooth situation where they don't have to have that streamer anymore, which I think is great.
It'll be nice.
As I said, I didn't even realize that. And are there usually some kind of specials at this time? Or
Yeah,
something
we
you're
will be
doing?
having some
Okay.
specials, and if in May, the whole month of May, and I believe possibly even into June, if you do purchase one of our newer systems, you'll receive a free television adapter.
Oh, okay.
So it will stream
That's
directly
nice.
into your ears. Yes.
Yeah, and that would just go out the audio output of your
That's
TV,
exactly right. It's simple. Yeah.
That's really nice. Now, as far as, you know, we talked about the cost, but there's different brands out there too. And does that make a difference? Do certain brands have different technologies, or do maybe the higher end ones are all pretty much the same? It's just aesthetics? How does
That's a really complicated question.
Yeah, I can imagine somebody going in and you're like, well, these all kind of do the same thing, but
right. As a hearing instrument specialist,
Yeah.
that is what I do. I research all of the latest technology, and I have to do it constantly because it changes so fast, as you can imagine. And all the research and development on each new level and each new platform of technology takes 2 to 3 years for them to develop each chip. So as those chips roll out, each manufacturer grabs that new chip and manipulates it with their engineers. So each company has their own philosophy about how to amplify and attenuate noise and direct speech toward the listener.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot about microphones.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as far as taking care of your ears, can you just briefly tell people the best way to do that, as far as maybe cleaning your ears at home, or you know, you're wearing the earphones of different kinds, and I know some of the newer ones you can set so they won't go above a certain level by mistake. Are these things that people should be very aware of? Of course, you're dealing with people a lot of the times that went to the concerts of the 70s and 80s, including myself, who it wasn't a good concert if you could still hear at the end of it. Am I right? You get the ringing in your ears. You're like, that was a great concert. Not a good
Our
thing,
generation,
right?
we love the music. We liked it loud. And we pay the price.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Well, I do have some good advice on that, and thank you for asking. When you're wearing earphones, if someone else can hear it, it's too loud.
Ah, that's a good one.
So if you can hear it and no one else in your room can hear it, you're probably okay.
Okay. That's a very good way to go. That's fantastic.
It really is. It's simple that way.
Yeah, and I know even our daughter will be listening to something in the car, and we can hear it, and we're not thinking it's hurting your ears. We're just thinking that's annoying. Turn it down.
Right.
But
it is
there
hurting
you go.
your ears if you can hear it.
Yeah, even at a young age, you can get hearing
absolutely.
loss. Okay.
You can.
You can kind of build up over time, right?
Yes, exactly. It weakens the cochlea.
And if they want an appointment, they have some questions, they can just call over and go ahead and make an appointment. And as you said, you have a free evaluation, right?
That's true. It's a free community service. It takes about an hour for the appointment. Bring all your questions, bring your hearing aids along, and we'll make sure that you go away feeling better or possibly even hearing better at that very first appointment.
Okay, so the same number we have on the screen here, 951-2020?
That'll work.
Okay, and if they call that, they're going to hear Harvard Eye first.
Harvard Eye Associates will answer, and they'll direct the call to me.
Okay, fantastic. Yes. Carole, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it, and technology, just with everything, gets better and better.
Yes, it does.
It's amazing. We'll be right back.